We live in very interesting times. And sometimes I am surprised myself to find out certain things. And one of those things is that the vinyl, so the sale of LPs, is actually booming. And the other interesting fact is that all the purchases are not driven by the collectors necessarily, by those who like the older generation. They are driven by the younger generation. We're going back into old times, you think, right? We're going, no, anachronism, right? We're going back 50 years ago. People may not like digital. That would be my conclusion. I was wrong. To find out that actually it's not the case. So younger generation buys the vinyl to hang the album, the work art on the wall. All right, I say, okay, well, it's great. Then you hang it on the wall. Then you decorate your room. Fantastic. There's another catch, which was the biggest surprise to me. They don't have a turntable. That's food for thought. I mean, one possible explanation that comes to my mind would be, well, but we have all this convenience. Click on the button and you have access to all the library, to all the music you can have. The vinyl basically remains unplayed. People listen to something that's very convenient, earbuds, whatever, headphones, streaming, off you go. Yes, I understand. Playing back LP deteriorates LP, but that's not the primary reason why people don't play them. The cost of convenience is that one forgets. One can do things in a different way and still enjoy them. And actually, the pleasure that one can derive playing back an LP on a proper turntable and a proper system can surpass the digitized version of that recording. That is being sort of forgotten. And then the next generation or the younger generation grows up on the digital version of that. They have a worldview that is being formed. It is much better than what we used to be back in the day. So they brush it off. That's what they say. They lose the reference to what it used to be. What we end up with is the younger generation that grew up with the streaming and playback through their earbuds and headphones. They're completely detached from where this sound and how it was played back originated. One can argue there's some modern music that's been processed and even synthesized in the digital domain. Somewhere originally, it originated in the analog domain. So the question is, how can a digital version be better than something that is actually happening in the analog domain? Somebody making comment, analog equals distortion, and the counter argument would say, so digital is free of distortion. Now, what is distortion? Or how we define distortion? Distortion is anything but alienation from the original. Well, digital is already in its, by definition, distortion, because it alienates from the original. The original is the analog world. Yeah, it may be cold. Yes, it may be not so nice, pleasantly smelling. It may be not great. It's full of imperfection. But that's the original. The distortion that people refer to when making comment like analog equals distortion, I suppose it's the noise floor, so okay. Yeah, it is part of it. If you go in an anechoic chamber and go there and sit there for half an hour, you go mad. There's no noise, everything being absorbed. Because the lack of noise is going to drive us crazy. That's not natural. Noise is part of the analog world. And trying to sort of beautifying something, modulate, take it out, delete, is it going to be better? Don't think so. Well, the excessive noise, you don't want to be exposed to excessive noise. Nobody is, because it's stressful. When we play back a recording, the sole purpose is to reproduce a recording the way it is. The only thing we can do is degrade it when we play it back. We can't make it better. I mean, some people think otherwise. Obviously, they have their digital filters on, and good for you. Just play back your filters, enjoy it. But if you want the full thing, undistorted playback, then you have it with everything that comes with it. Let's be truthful to ourselves. What is actually distortion? It starts with our perception. And if we start perceiving the digital to be less distorted, it's already sort of distortion. You know, I'm not saying digital is bad, but digital by definition is distortion. If it has less noise floor than the original analog, it is to me distortion. So the question is, which distortion is more likable to you? Silk versus polyester. If polyester is the best material to you, by all means, enjoy polyester. If, on the other hand, you feel silk is a better material, please use silk. So whether you want to go, if you go for polyester or silk, is your choice. And then you wouldn't know the difference between silk and polyester until, again, you try it. Yeah, both are smooth materials, but one is synthetic and another is a natural material. One is not so nice for skin and the other one is so much nicer for skin. And if somebody sells you polyester for the price of silk and you buy it, it's your choice. You know, I mean, we prefer silk, okay? And yeah, if you like to listen to real sort of natural things, choose natural. You know, all you have to do is just take the vinyl, even if it's digitally mastered, and put it on a turntable. So that's the thing. And if you want to, well, basically enjoy the synthetic, continue streaming. In the very compressed, small world called digital, everything may be beautified and maybe seem more beautiful than they are in the reality. But the price is, if one thinks that all the analog is, so all the vibrations originated in the analog domain, and thinks that digital is always more polished and is better and quieter. And this detachment basically leads to some of the younger or older generation to believe what we have is the sweetest thing. And everything you have is not as sweet. They try the carrot and carrot is the sweetest thing to them. The only way to find out that carrot is maybe not the sweetest thing is by try alternatives. So if one tries honey, one is bound to discover that it actually tastes way sweeter than carrot. All one has to do is basically try. So I would say the best thing, the next step forward is buy yourself a turntable or a tape recorder. Use your great collection that you use to decorate your wall, you can use it for a different purpose. And one should try it, play it on turntable, just to discover that there is also analog sound. You have it already in your possession. All you have to do is to try it and have the know-how how to taste it. And by the way, not all honey tastes the same. It's up to them to try. And then it can't be that the same recording sounds so dramatically different, or let's say that it sounds not so engaging on one format and sounds very engaging on the other. You may argue it's the recording, but I will argue it's the playback. It's what you play it back with and how you play it back. That is a very important factor. We are indifferent in a sense. We make one of the finest digital to analog converters. It is one of our core products. We equally make Phono preamplifiers for turntables. When it's played back, it should be equally engaging and convincing sounding. If your world or your perception or your experience differs from that, then you draw the conclusions. I mean, something must be wrong. When somebody comes and asks, well, you offer those digital to analog converters, how does it compare to this digital to analog converter? My response is, it's a wrong approach. One shouldn't benchmark our DAC to another DAC. The reference is the analog. Always was and always going to be. We benchmark our digital to analog, not to other digital products. It's like going and having something distorted, comparing to something also distorted and saying, oh, which of these is less distorted? You go and compare something to original. That's the only sort of benchmark and reference. Or it's our prospective customers. They ask us the question, this and that, and I ask them, well, do you have an analog source in your system? And they say no. Say, but how would you know if you have no benchmark? The point is to tell you, yes, carrots are nice vegetables, but there is also honey. Why wouldn't you try it? Folks have given up any analog sort of playback. They have no reference. And if they don't have any reference, they don't know what can be better. And that's the problem. When choosing sort of a DAC, choosing a digital playback, they lost the touch how things can be or should be. And everybody who hasn't tried reel-to-reel tape cassettes or vinyl yet, I can only encourage you to go and to try it the first thing, just to find out how does it sound. But it's very easy. You have all the vinyl collection already. All you need to do is get yourself a turntable. And I'm sure your grandfather has someone in the attic. Just go pick it up, dust it off, and try it. And decide for yourself what you like more. And please comment in the comment section what you prefer.